In 2021, the age of TikTok, Instagram Reels, and other quick grab and go bites of online content, I just started my first blog, one of the oldest platforms on the internet, and something that most people don't even read. For a long time, I've had an interest in creating things that I can share with others, and I've expressed this through juggling and magic and even YouTube videos I uploaded more than 10 years ago. Videos that have since been changed to private because, well, trust me. Even just in my daily life, I love sharing my thoughts and ideas with people. If I'm chatting with a friend, for example, it makes me so happy to share about what I'm learning about or what I'm interested in, and I love hearing those same kinds of things from other people. So, knowing that about myself, and also knowing that I haven't been exercising that creative muscle as much lately, I picked up this book called Show Your Work by Austin Kleon in hopes that it would inspire me to do more and share more of that creativity with others. The book's subtitle is 10 Ways to Share Your Creativity and Get Discovered, and it's about just that. In this book, he shares all kinds of tips for producing content and sharing your work online. At one point, the point where I started considering making a blog, Austin talks about how no social network is guaranteed to be around forever, and even while they are around, I don't have any control over the things that I post to them. If I share all of my thoughts and ideas on a social network, I don't really get a say in how that's used or who gets to see it or even how long it'll be available. That's the first convincing point that made me want to start carving out my own little space online, a place where I could publish whatever I want and know that my work would still be around even after Instagram and Twitter and YouTube have stopped being relevant. He talks about how for him, his blog has opened all kinds of opportunities. Having a single dedicated place online to share thoughts and ideas is a way of sort of building a personal library of knowledge and experiences that you can revisit later to build upon or incorporate into bigger projects. He mentions that he had ideas that started as tweets, which turned into blog posts that eventually evolved into book chapters. He argues that constantly making and sharing and telling stories is how you eventually stumble across something that people will value. The more we make, the better chance we have at making something good or useful. On the subject, Austin writes, I figured out how to install a blog, and that changed everything. A blog is the ideal machine for turning flow into stock. One little blog post is nothing on its own, but publish 1,000 blog posts over a decade and it turns into your life's work. My blog has been my sketchbook, my studio, my gallery, storefront, and my salon. Absolutely everything good that has happened in my career can be traced back to my blog. My books, art shows, speaking gigs, some of my best friendships, they all exist because I have my own little piece of turf on the internet. All of this made me want to make my own dedicated place to start sharing online, a place where I could share my ideas and stories and thoughts that I knew would still be around in a decade. And so when I finished the book, I started Project Publish, my own personal project for sharing what I care about online, even if nobody's reading it. By the way, I recommend always codenaming your projects because, well, mostly it's just fun, but it also really helps to sort of think through the project and everything that it's going to be about and try to distill all of that into a single word or phrase that can kind of guide the work. I wanted to share my thoughts online and post my ideas somewhere publicly, and so for me, Project Publish made a lot of sense. Luckily, I was already one step ahead. I purchased the BlakePuckett.com domain name years ago, and I already knew how to build a basic website. Since I bought it, BlakePuckett.com had sort of just been like a landing page for my magic and juggling, a place where potential clients could kind of learn about what I do and contact me or book shows or something like that. But after deciding that I wanted my own space online for more of my creative endeavors, including a blog where I could write about whatever was on my mind, I redesigned the site to be less about just Blake the performer and more about Blake the person. I still have a page on the website for my juggling and my performance work, but now I have room for the other things that I care about, like my blog or my YouTube creations or some of the other things that matter to me. I guess the short answer to why did I start a blog in 2021 is just that I wanted my own little corner of the internet where I could share my thoughts and ideas so that they might provide value to someone else, or just sit around until I needed them again. It's an online space where I can say and do whatever I want, and everything that I share will be around and available for as long as I want it to be. So even though blogs may be sort of out of style, and well, I probably should have started this project like 10 years ago, I still think that now is a great time to start a blog for anyone who has ideas that they want to share, or people who just want to document their life, or maybe someone who just has something that they care about and don't want to forget it.